Chapter 1. What is 10x rule? The 10x rule is the one thing that will guarantee that you will get what you want in any amount greater than your ever. Sorry. The 10x rule is the one thing that will guarantee that you will get what you want in amount greater than you ever thought imaginable. It can work in every area of life: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, familial, and financial. The 10x rule is based on understanding how much effort and thought are required to get anything done successfully. Chances are that if you look back over your life, you will see that you have widely underestimated both action and the reasoning necessary to accomplish any endeavor to the point where it could be labeled successful. Although I myself Although I myself have done well in the first part of 10x rule, assessing the level of effort necessary to realize the goal, I failed the second part of 10x rule, adjusting my thinking so that I dare to dream at a level previously unimaginable. I will discuss both factors and in details. I have studied success for the better part of 3 decades, and I have found that although there is much agreement about goal setting, discipline, persistence, focus, time management, leveraging thought, good people, and networking, I have never been clear on that one thing that really makes difference. I have been asked hundred of times in seminar and interview, what is your own quality, action, mindset that will ensure a person create extraordinary success. This question has nagged me to understand if there was one thing in my own life that made me a difference. What one thing I have I done that made a biggest difference? I don't have some gene that other are missing. I definitely haven't been lucky. I was not connected to the right people, and I didn't go to the some blue blood school. So what was it that made me successful? As I look back over my life, I see that the one thing that was most consistent with my success, any success I have achieved, was that I always put forth 10 times the amount of activity that other did. For every sales presentation, phone call, or the appointment other made, I was making 10 of each. When I started buying real estate, I looked at the 10 times more properties than I could buy, and then made an effort to ensure that I was able to buy what I wanted at that price I desired. I have approached all my business enterprises with massive action. That has been the single biggest determining factor in any success I have created. I was a complete unknown when I built my first company without a business plan. I had a zero known know how to how or connection, and the only money I had was generated by the new sale. However, I was able to build some viable business just by utilizing and operating at activity level far beyond what others considered reasonable. I made a name for myself and literally changed industry as a result. Let me be clear here. I do not think that I have created extraordinary level of success, nor do I think I have tapped into my full potential. I have completely aware that there are many people who are many times more successful, at least financially, than me. Although I am not Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, or one of the founder of Facebook, Google, I have created multiple companies from the scratch that have allowed me to have an overall enjoyable lifestyle. The reason why I didn't create extraordinary level of financial success is because I violated the second part of 10x rule. The 10x way, the 10x way of thinking that would be my only regret, falling to an approach my life with the right mindset. I would have an actually set target that were 10 times what I had dreamed of in the beginning. But I like you. I am working on it now, and I still have a few years to correct this. I mentioned the notion of creating extraordinary level of success time and again throughout this book. Extraordinary by definition means anything outside of the realm of what most normal people can and do achieve. And of course, that definition would then definition would then depend on with whom or what class of success you are comparing yourself. Before you say I don't need extraordinary level of success, or the success is not everything, or I just want to be happy, or whatever else you may be mumbling to yourself at this very moment. Understand something: in order to get to the next level of whatever you are doing, you must think and act wildly different way than you previously have been. You cannot get into the next phase of the project without grand mindset, more acceleration and the extra horsepower. Your thought and action are the reason why you are where you are right now. So it would be reasonable to suspect of both. Reasonable to be suspect of both. Let's say you have a job but no saving, want to have another $1,000 a month coming in, or perhaps you are currently having to 20,000 in a bank and want to save $1 million, or that your company is doing 1 million a year in a sale and you want to get 100 million. Maybe you need to find job, lose 40 pounds, or find the right partner. Although these scenarios cover different area of your life, they all have one thing in common. The person who desired them in not there yet. Each of these goals is valuable and each will require a different way of conceptualizing and acting upon them in order to attain them. All of them can be defined extraordinary if they exceed what you have come to know as ordinary, while it might not be exceptional compared to with what others are speaking. The goal you set should always move you to better place or toward an objective you have not yet achieved. Other might have an opinion about your success, but only you can decide if it's extraordinary. Only you know your true potential and whatever you are living up to it. No one else can judge your success. Remember, success is a degree or measure of attaining some desired object or end. Once you attain the desired end, the issue then become whatever you can maintain, multiply, and respect your action in order to sustain that result. Although success can describe an accomplished feat, people usually don't study success in terms of something they have done. They go at it with a mind towards something they are seeking to do. An interesting thing about success is that it is like a breath of air. Although your last breath of air is important, it is not nearly as important as the next one. Yeah. An interesting thing about an interesting thing about success is that it's like a breath of air. Although your last breath of air is important, it's not nearly as important as the next one. No matter how much you have already achieved, you will desire to continue making accomplishment in the future. If you stop trying to succeed, it is like trying to live the rest of your life off the last breath of air. Things change, nothing remains as it was. For things to be maintained, they require attention and action. After all, a marriage cannot maintain itself of a love felt on the wedding day. But people who are highly successful in both their professional and the personal life continue to work and produce and create even after they have flourished. The world watches these people with amazement and confusion, asking questions like, "Why do they keep pushing?" The answer is simple. Extremely successful people know that their effort must continue in order to them to realize new achievement. Once the hunt for the desired object or goal is abandoned, the cycle of success comes to an end. Someone said to me recently, "It is clear you have made enough money to live comfortably. Why are you still pushing?" It is because I am obsessed with the next breath of accomplishment. I have compulsive about I leaving a legacy and making a positive footprint on the planet. I am most unhappy when I am not accomplishing and most happy when I am quest of reaching my full potential and ability. My disappointment of dissatisfaction with where I am at the moment does not suggest that something is wrong with me, but rather that something is right with me. I believe that it is my ethical obligation to create success for myself, my family, my company, my future. No one can convince me that there is something wrong with my desire to achieve new level of success. Should I be happy with the love I have for my children and a wife yesterday? Or should I continue to create and pour it into a new amount today or tomorrow? The reality is the most people do not have whatever they define as a success. Many want something more in the least one area of their life, in at least one area of their life. Indeed, they are people who will read this book, unsatisfied who yearn for something more, and really, who does not want more better relationship, more quality time with those they love, more momentous experience is a better level of fitness, health, increased energy, more spiritual knowledge, and the ability to contribute to the good of society. Common to all of those, common to all of those is desire to improve, and they are qualities by which countless people measure success. Regardless of what you have to do or be, whatever it is to lose 10 pounds, write a book, or become a millionaire, you have desire to reach these points is an incredible important element of doing so. Each of these goal is vital to your future survival because they indicate what within your potential, regardless of the goal you are striving to accomplish. You will be reminded to think differently, embrace a die-hard level of commitment, and take massively amount of action at a 10 time and the level you think is necessary, followed by more action. Almost every problem people face in their career and the other aspect of their life, such as failed diets, marriage, financial problem, are all the result of not taking enough action. So before you say to yourself for the millionth time, I would be happy if I just had, or I don't want to be rich, I just comfortable, or I just want enough to be happy. You must understand one vital point: limiting the amount of success you desire is violation of 10x rule. In the and its own 10x rule in end of itself. When people start limiting the amount of success they desire, I assure you will limit what will be required of them in order to achieve success and will fail miserably at doing what it takes to keep it. When people start limiting amount of success they desire, I assure you to I assure you they will limit what will be required of them in order to achieve success and will fail miserably at doing what it takes to keep it.